There we go. Super Bowl XLVII. BLN. We'll give the people a minute to get in here. I'll just kind of process all this bad news for the Gators real quick while we wait. No, but I mean, Napier's a dead man walking. I mean, everyone knows it. He would have to have some like crazy turnaround in year 3 for us to not fire him.
I've always felt like Florida's just the program, one of those top 7, top 8 programs where it's just like, look, if this is not working, we're Florida. We're going to figure it out next year. We don't do rebuild years. We find a new coach. We get serious recruits and compete for championships. But I guess not last couple of years.
I mean, that, you know, historically, like back in the day, that was definitely the case. I mean, we're now at, you know, assuming this Napier thing doesn't work out, we're at 4 failed coaches in a row now. Muschamp, McElwain. I mean, you could argue that Mullen wasn't a failure, but his the end of his tenure definitely was, and then Napier. So it's like we can't just be like a revolving door of coaches at some point. It's like we gotta try to let someone establish their culture here at some point. But I don't know if that's like the way you build programs anymore in the NIL era.
Billy Napier looks like he could be a character in Grand Theft Auto 6. Like a serial killer football coach.
The shady car dealer who moonlights as a high school football coach. Yeah.
I
could see that. And it's tough because Napier's the guy, like, McElwain I had issues with from the jump. Mullen I had issues with from jump. Like, Napier I completely bought in, like, to what he was selling early on. I thought he was going to be a great fit, and it just hasn't worked out. But it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, enough talk about a mid-tier SEC program. We are here to talk about 2 top-tier, better league users. As we are preparing in just a couple minutes for Super Bowl 47. Looks like it might be even shorter than that as Dan exits practice mode. But from the AFC is Warren's Los Angeles Chargers, the most dominant user potentially in the league right now. Just went 20-0 in top, looking to be the holder of multiple Lombardis at the same time here, potentially with his LA Chargers. From the NFC side, Dan making a bit of a shocking playoff run here, able to win the NFC South, get that 4 seed, beat Allen, beat Alex, beat Hero, and now he is here to take on potentially his greatest challenge yet. Morgan Roan Company will step to the plate. I am joined by the defending champion for about another hour, we'll say. Ben, the Falcons user. How we doing?
We're doing great, Connor. We're enjoying every second of it while it lasts here before we, as Dan so eloquently put, pass along the green jacket to the next champ. 2 great guys, great people in general, and obviously really great Madden players who've built really great teams. So it should be a really great game.
I really hope so, man. I hope you're right. It's gonna be a chess match between both. I think really what we've seen from both Warren and Dan that has been, to me, even more the reason they're here than their, elite offensive production is I think these have been the 2 best users in the league in terms of their defensive user, completely taking away what the opponent wants to do. I think they've both done an incredible job. We saw that with Warren against Little Alex, just had him in a box. We saw that with Dan against Hero, put himself in position for like 5 picks throughout the game with Will Levis. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jerry World, welcome to Dallas, and welcome to Super Bowl 47. It is Warren's Los Angeles Chargers. It is Dan's Tampa Bay Bucks, as my stream's already buffering. That's not a good sign, but we are here, Ben. And as Warren takes the stage, gets the ball for the first time. Oh, this is bad. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't continue. But as Warren takes the ball out of the end zone for not a ton of room, able to take it to 22, but what are Justin Herbert and company's offensive keys to the game here?
Yeah, so I think this is actually the probably the one-sided more in the Chargers side of the ball, at least. The Bucks passing offense matches up very, very well against, or the Chargers passing offense against this Bucs passing defense.
So yeah, it's definitely gonna be the way he tries to take it off. As we have a quick shot to the flats. This is Darren Waller, I believe, with a gain of 8 to start us off. As we already have 5 gifted subs, Boz gifting subs to Warren, to P-Town, to Dan, to Lucky, to King. 5 people that you would hope would already be subscribed to Better League Network, but that's okay. And Wozy saying the sub train has started. Thank you all so much. Morty putting his 1 in the chat as well. And sorry, Ben, I'll let you talk at some point. It's just the chat is popping off right now. I'll get to that in a second. Using the outside of Davis is 2 Davises on that play. A quick slant for a gain of 7.
Yeah, you saw a user from Dan there on the corner, on the outside. Interesting, trying to confuse Warren a little bit with the user selections there.
Absolutely is. I am having occasional stream buffers. I'll try to fix that as we go. So we will have, again, a 3rd straight drop back. He will, once again, go to the flats. This is Davis. Not a lot of room after the catch. Good tackling by the Bucs so far. But Justin Herbert looking locked in and looking like, Warren's very happy to take his check down so far.
Yeah, Warren, he's good at getting the ball out to the open guy. He doesn't hesitate at all. So expect him to take that if it's there.
And I think doing a better job than anyone so far at disguising his coverage. We have good user who's going to take a shot to Keenan Allen and makes a man miss and then gets picked up and stonewalled. But Dan doing a good job of taking away the short routes. Warren looking deep for the first time all game, hitting Keenan Allen, the veteran.
Oh, got him a little with the stick skills too at the end. I think that's grab and go, working on that user comeback aggressive catch. I mean, that's serious stick skills right there early on.
Really, really nice as we have our first run of the day. This is Austin Eckler, a man who can get really lethal if you give him room. And Eckler, falling forward for an extra 3 yards there, fighting for his life. But, it's never going to be a run-heavy approach from Warren. But when he does get Eckler on these runs, look out, because he's just as lethal as anyone.
Absolutely. One of the best players in the entire team. And he's going to keep him involved in the fast game too. But Warren will take his rushes, no doubt. This isn't a guy who struggles to get 10.
Certainly not, as we have an RPO to Eckler who cuts back and gets a gain of 3. And so far, Ben, early game, obviously there's plenty more chess to be played between these 2 users. But so far, this is the Warren we've seen all playoffs long, right? Just relentlessly efficient, moves the ball with ease.
Yeah, seems like the confidence is building, which, even against a guy that you feel good about your matchups, it's always you get into the game, that confidence might not be there, but you can see it just continuing to brew with Warren as it has all playoffs long.
Handoff as Merriweather tries to shoot the gap, not able to. Eckler cuts up and has 1 man to beat. He does not, but again, you give Warren a light box, he will audible to that inside zone, and he will gain yards easily. Winfield with the tackle.
Yeah, and Dan recognized it with them in a linebacker, but just with that defensive setup, had no chance.
Yeah, no chance whatsoever. Just didn't have the numbers to stop that, as we are going to have play action. Now, he may eventually have the flats open, although he gets kind of hoed by the animation. Gets it off anyway, as Eckler had to get off the blocking there, but still able to get a gain of 6. And Warren knocking the doorstep. And this is kind of the one situation, I call it red zone roulette, where it's like you can kind of like let someone drive to the red zone, and then once the field compresses, this is where you really try to make hay on defense. So we have an RPO as Eckler's going to cut up. Eckler, for the first time, does not see the lane and goes down after only a gain of 1.
Yeah, RPO was probably there, but there was a block over there, so smart decision just to take the run. Ever so slightly conservative from Warren early on.
3rd and 3, drops back. Good usering here as Justin Herbert has nothing. It goes down. Smith with a huge sack off of 4-man rushes. We will see the field goal to take the field, and that is a big win defensively early for Dan, getting organic pressure off a 4-man rush.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head when you said, you let him drive down the field, but you make a stand defensively in the red zone. That's a win for the Buccaneers. Now we get to see this other side of the ball, which should get interesting.
It'll get really interesting, man. 2 of the best rookie wide receivers in the league, Cook and McCullers, obviously Morgan Rowe. The story of these playoffs, he's really stepped up in many ways. Boz saying good confidence booster for Dan. Yes, it is. Wozy saying no game sound of Super Bowl is not fun. Yeah, that we can't do anything about that, Wozy. That's the stream doesn't have much game sound coming through, and when it does, it's pretty choppy. But what matters, Ben, is that you and I are bringing succulent commentary. That's what these people really came here to see. They're not here to watch the Super Bowl. They're here to hear us blabber on about it. First and 10, trips to the left, as we will see again Morgan Rowan Company take the field for the first time in this game, as he will drop back and get screamed at and goes down immediately. Bad sign for the interior of that O-line, as Clark was untouched up the middle.
Yeah, left guard just never even went after him. Totally clean all the way in. 53, I don't know who that is. A lot of young players in the Bucks on this O-line. Maybe that low awareness hurt him there. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what awareness does in Madden, but if it does have an impact, then yeah, we definitely saw it there. Is tough break certainly from Morgan Rowan Company. Just gonna have to bounce back here, and we may see some early aggression if this ends up being a fourth and manageable, as he will step up, has no type of pocket again, nearly goes down again, forced to throw it away, and we are seeing off of 4-man rushes so far relentless pressure from this Chargers.
Yeah, and so here's what's interesting. I think Dan has probably the best pocket presence of anyone in the history of this league, and
Yes.
he's at the peak of his powers right now in Madden 24. So he is able to buy himself some time, but that was just tremendous coverage by the Chargers, who have been exceptional defensively with Warren using them.
With threat detector, he knows about this mid blitz coming. Good blocking as Morgan Rose going to take a shot to the corner, nearly intercepted by Jones. Cook not able to win that one-on-one battle, and a 3-and-out aided by the relentless Chargers D-line to start things off.
Yeah, maybe Dan could have tried to, flatten that one out a little bit more so that Cook could get in front. But probably the smart play there is we get a big hit on the return here.
Yeah, we could have very easily, in past
Or
Madden,
close
that's a
there.
decletion. It's a little more difficult to land hit sticks in this Madden. Take it from me, ladies and gentlemen. But first and 10, again, able to get a red zone stop in the last drive. Will he get another one, because you do not want him to get early looks, as we have good using, but he's going to fire it over Devin White anyway. Keenan Allen almost makes Dean miss, but the user just a step slow, and Herbert was able to loft it over him to Keenan Allen.
Dan's defense has been really good at the end of this season and into the playoffs. His user there was really good. Warren is just on a different level. You have to be all over everything.
All over everything. You need to guard every single route there is and pass and then rush the passer yourself, damn near. As we have an injury, I believe that's Quincy Baber, another one of these really nice AI players that Dan has with the injury, as we will drop back. It's stuck on Cansey. Takes a shot upfield to McDonald. McDonald almost gets to the end zone. Dean, once again, the only man able to bring him down. But we still have yet to see an incompletion from Herbert, and this has been really nice from Warren so far.
Yeah, and that's Antoine Winfield coming over out of the zone in the deep middle for the Bucks. Really their only, except for maybe Jamel Dean, big weapon in the secondary. You really hope he can make a better play on that.
A very delayed run. I'll be interested to see what actual play call that was. Okay, it was the fake end around slash. An interesting play call there. Didn't go for a ton, as we saw Devin White, who has been a tackle machine in these playoffs, just, absolutely laying lumber on people. Still able to make the most of it there, as he will motion McDonald to the left, create a trips front, as we'll have an RPO. Austin Eckler shoots through the gap. Touchdown.
Yeah, just too weak of a box, unfortunately, for the Bucks to try to defend that. And Austin Eckler, with that O-line going off that left side with Slater over there, I mean, that's Pancake City right there.
Pancake City, like you said. Yeah, the pulling guard is absolutely demolishing Dan's front seven, as it is now 10-0 again. And, we have barely seen this Dan offense. The one time we saw them was a 3-and-out. He's ran 3 offensive plays so far this game, and we'll see what he's got up his sleeve here to deal with. What's very early, maybe this is an overreaction on me, but it's looking like he's going to have a bad time with his offensive line blocking, if this is anything to go off.
Well,
I'll get to this real quick, because we have
yeah. Well, I was just going to say, Dan knows if he's going to win this game, he's probably going to have to outscore Warren. I mean, that's the kind of game that he would have to win as a shootout. So, 10-0, obviously not a great start, but him with the ball right here, still in the first half, chance to cut it to a 3-point game. There's no lack of confidence from Dan right now.
No lack of confidence, and he also gets the ball to start the second, so he's got that in the back of his mind as well. 2nd and 8 is Morgan Rowe, who again has been screamed at twice in a row. We'll see what he's able to do here as he will drop back. Good using, had X open, has X open. Look out, nearly intercepted by Thompson out of the throw out a sack. And that read I think was open, but not enough time to get it off, and it nearly was disastrous for the Bucks.
Yeah. I was talking about his pocket presence. He tried to buy an extra half second. I think that was Bosa who got in at the last second. Really lucky that wasn't a pick.
Very, very lucky. And now 3rd and 8. Like I said earlier, this might be aggression time here if he does not pick up this first down, as he just tries to keep up with Warren however he can here. But trips to the left once again as he sends one of the linebackers. He will drop back quick, out route, and Cook hits for the first down of the game. The rookie showing up.
Yeah, go Breed. I think that's where he wanted to go the whole way. Really nice timing on the throw. It's what he needed. Got to get points on this drive.
Markel Cook, the leading receiver on this team. It will not be the last time as Morgan Rowe takes it, breaks a tackle somehow for Bosa, and that's going to be a legal forward pass. There were blockers about 15 yards downfield.
Man, I tell you what, I guarantee you that Dan actually saw that come wide open after he broke that tackle and tried to make that play. But unfortunately, on that RPO, he had no chance with the blocker, on the 40-yard line of the Chargers.
On the end of the NFL logo, practically, was the left guard there, as he will once again drop back. Only a 3-man rush, good pocket, and a quick dump off to Darnell Washington. And Ben, enlighten me. Where did Darnell Washington play in college?
That'd be University of Georgia. Actually, both tight ends, AI and IRL, in this game. Damn good dogs.
3rd and 4. I mean, he was an absolute weapon, man. He was unbelievable. 3rd and 4, as we're going to see again another drop back. And with 3-man rush once again, has a good pocket. I don't see anything coming up, and because all the time in the world will have RB open, and hits him. Cook makes a man miss and gets it to the 30, and that is the top tier pocket presence. No panic out of Dan. Waited until RB came open.
Absolute classic Dan Brennan right there. That's what's driven him this whole season.
Absolutely, as we do now have 1st and 10. May eventually have A open. Is going to hit A. Darnell Washington unable to come down with it. And real quick, because I've ignored chat for a while. Boz saying bad throw from Dan relating to the near pick, and then saying, but there's the ... from Dan. Matt saying I blame math homework. Yes. Math homework right before the Super Bowl is an interesting choice, but gotta, calm your nerves however you can here. As we have, I thought he was going to do that fake mountain screen, because Warren's got that scattered out, that mountain screen that he tries to run once again. As we will, again, drop back, and again, only 3-man rush. Interesting call here, as I don't see anyone open, but again, Morgan Rowe, all sorts of time, steps up and goes down as he gets taken down by 2 Chargers. A little too patient there, as now he sets up for a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and I think both users are actually kind of content with that outcome. Obviously, Warren is, but Dan, he did get every second that he possibly could, just nobody open.
Yes, sir. Now 3rd and 12 is sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We have a dump off. Cook nearly makes 2 men miss, 4th and 1, and this is obvious, in my opinion, aggression time here for Tampa Bay. You don't kick field goals on 4th and 1 against Warren and expect to win this game.
Well, yeah, and we've got Dan's, obviously his play call here in the stream, and don't want to call out exactly what we got here, but he went to it real quick.
Fiona Cook, and he gets taken down, and that is a turnover on downs. Did not have the numbers over there, and that is a back-breaking stop right there.
Gosh, it looked like he had enough space too, but I think one clicked on, came over quick. Just once again, incredible defense from the Chargers.
Yeah, really, really nice. As we have now a power O as Eckler with not a lot of room, fumbles it. I think that's a CFM fumble. I mean, the Chargers got it anyway, so can't be too excited about it. But if you're Dan at this point, praying for a stop, praying for something, because again, it does not feel like Dan's played badly in this game whatsoever. Just couple plays have gone against him, and that's sometimes all it takes against guys like Warren.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was CFM. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that might have been out, actually.
Potentially. It was real close. Steele saying saw the cornerback blitzing on the right. Why not go there? Yeah, I'm not really sure. As we have again a deep four because he will go to the dump off. Davis able to pick up some yards. Gets about a gain of 6. That'll make it a more manageable third down.
Yeah, love that quick read. He's got a couple guys over there on that side. Takes what's open again. So efficient so far. I think he's 8 of 8 passing right now.
Yes.
Big play though here, big time. Could be a huge stop for the Bucs. They can get off the field.
As Eckler will run through a wide open A gap, able to get about a gain of 5. And we have yet to see anything really explosive from Warren, but it's just, I'm going to keep saying it. It's the relentless efficiency that we know Warren by, right? Just so demoralizing on defense to try to stop this.
Yeah, no doubt. And, Dan knows that. He doesn't have the greatest defense in the world. He's playing bend, not break defense, which is what he should do. So really a chess match on this side of the ball, especially for these two users so far.
And off for Eckler goes for gain of 8. And yeah, like you said, it's been very bend, don't break so far. It seems like he's mostly just trying to prevent the deep shot and kind of acquiesce some of these other routes here. We will, again, have a 2nd and 2, a 2nd and short, which it feels like he finds himself in constantly. As we get power row out of gun, Eckler's room. Eckler falls forward for a bad gain of 10. And the play calls against these zone blitzes have been perfect. It seems like he's running the other way every single time.
Yeah, and Dan refuses. I mean, again, you talk about bend, don't break defense. But at this point, Warren's got an opportunity to take this all the way into the half with potentially a 3-score lead. I mean, this you got to make something happen if you're the Bucs.
We have a dive. Eckler able to cut up. Eckler jukes forward and almost breaks 2 more tackles. As Eckler really just fighting for every yard here. And if you're Dan, start clicking on, start hammering RB. Hope you can get a nice little strip. Because you see that Warren's not unconservative, right? Maybe try to make a play that way on defense. But that's going to take us most likely, unless Herbert gets the snap off, which he does, actually. 2:01 remaining. As he uses Kancey, tries to cover the corner, or cover the flats, not able to do so. But that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. So far, I mean, it hasn't been all Chargers necessarily, but you look at that score line, big fat 0 next to Tampa Bay. You're going to have to change that.
Yeah, seen a few big plays in Bucs offense, but obviously nothing in the scoring category. But just continuing to step up and make these critical plays in the game. Obviously, the 4th down was the biggest one so far. But another big 3rd down here. Let's see if Warren can get it again.
Absolutely. As my stream is giving me hell here. I apologize as Justin Herbert now drops back. Double slant, good usering, but he has all sorts of time. Ends up getting it to Eckler. Keenan Allen lays down a nice downfield block. And I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the wrong time for my stream to be doing this to me, but it's just been buffering the last couple plays.
Yeah, great patience in the pocket there for Herbert. Pretty wide open, really, once he let it develop. So you do it.
Man, he ran command on that one, and LA still gained a yard. Tampa Bay, unsurprisingly, spending their first time out trying to get the ball back. But yeah, I don't hate it. Just if you think you have a beat on it being a run, try to create a momentum play, try to create a stop here. If you're Tampa Bay, send the dogs.
Yeah, and if you're Warren here, obviously you want to burn some clock, but ultimately you want to go up 3 scores. Your defense has been playing lights out. If you give them the ball back with time still on the clock, that's still okay. I mean, you definitely want to prioritize the 6 over the 3. So I was a little surprised by that play call.
3-man rush. He will take a shot, and it's going to fucking buffer again, dude. I'm sick.
Oh, Carlton Davis knocked it out at the last second.
Yes.
At the last second, it would have been a touchdown.
I just saw that. I apologize about this, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, we did end up seeing. God damn it, dude. As we'll see now Justin Herbert roll out. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen, as he drops back and ends up throwing it away. I'm just going to reload this stream real quick because this keeps happening. But we did see Ben, a big defensive stand there for Dan, so that was nice.
No doubt. And 3 points for the Chargers. They're 13-10 or 13-0 rather. A minute and a half with 2 timeouts for Dan is all day. I mean, he's probably more worried about not giving the ball back to Warren at this point, honestly. But really, I mean, obviously you want to get points if you're the Buccaneers on this drive. If you can try to beat the last possession, I think really you want to take your time a little bit on offense at this point. Playbook's wide open. Cook has been okay. Got to get that run game back, though. It's still a close game.
Yeah, 100%. Can't let the scoreline psych you out here. I mean, Dan's still not in a horrible position game-wise. As B is wide open, ends up hitting him. This is Bishop with only one man to beat. Tries to get a little sticky with the left stick, takes it for a big gain to the 36, and now Tampa Bay in business.
Yeah, he's still not running the ball, but at least he came out looking like he might. So that helped a little bit, I think, there. Big play. And he's got, again, now really all day to try and get in the end zone here.
Absolutely, as I'm probably a second behind it, but that's okay. I'm just going to call it like normal. Is we have a 1st and 10, time continuing to tick down, 2 timeouts, about 50 seconds remaining as he will now drop back, 4-man rush as I don't see anyone. Ends up throwing it to A, and look out, nearly another horrible throw out, a sack result there. Not able to do it, but Bosa gets in with the pressure.
Yeah, and Dan's going to continue to stand in. Those throw to sacks may come back to haunt him. We'll see.
They might, as Morgan Rose steps up and takes a shot, and there is the rookie quarterback doing rookie quarterback things. McCullers had a step on his DB, but Morgan Rose sailing it 5 yards out of bounds.
Yeah, and not the worst outcome there. If that gets undercut and picked off, you're really in trouble. But big play here. You definitely want to get 6 on this drive. Could go a long way towards the momentum going into the second half.
Absolutely. Yeah, these next couple of plays are going to determine kind of the vibe check here coming into the second half. Like, are we heading to blowout or not? As my stream chooses all the worst times to buffer. It's okay. We saw Morgan Rowe drop back, and then the stream immediately stopped. So that's cool. Looks like you got a first down. All right. This is great. This is awesome.
Here, Washington on a drag, got just enough for it. He called timeout. Still got 1 left, 35 seconds, plenty of time.
Appreciate it. We might have to have you be just like the radio commentator at this point, based on the way the stream's going. I don't know what's going on, but he will once again drop back as fuck, dude.
Well, geez, I don't know. I guess just tell me when you get back up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that time Markel Cook, 7 yards, right side, 30 seconds out of bounds. Really great execution on this drive. Obviously, got the big play to start it off, but I like these route combinations that he's kind of putting together here. He's getting guys in one-on-one spots against mostly zone coverage, it seems like, from the Chargers so far.
It's always buffering, like, right as Morgan Rowe drops back. It's like at the worst possible times as we do catch up here as Morgan Rowe with some room ends up going to McCullers. McCullers with all sorts of room. He will fall in. Touchdown.
Huge play. Great patience again in the pocket. I mean, that is just a ballsy drive after a half that has not gone his way at all. Chance to cut it to a 6-point game going into the half. Still got to play defense. Warren with all 3 timeouts in 25 seconds. He can put a couple plays together pretty quickly with this offense. Look out for Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson. And you always got to be aware, Beckler, there's just so many guys. Getting a field goal on the board would be gigantic for the Chargers back here.
Absolutely. Getting a field goal on the board would be gigantic. And then also from Dan's side, remember, y'all, he is going to get the ball to start the second. So could be in a position where he's driving to take the lead here to start the second half, despite, how poorly the rest of the first half went for him. Yeah, sorry about the buffering, y'all. I don't really know what to say at this point. It's just we're going to have to live with it. But we shall see what Warren's able to do, with all 3 timeouts. Field goal range, a very possible outcome here as he will once again drop back. Ends up going to the flats. Davis going to stay in bounds. Takes a lot of time as well. If you're Tampa Bay, you'll allow that. That's fine.
Yeah. I think, Warren's just kind of filling up the defense, dealing with Dan's going to come out, and not too many deep zones, it looks like, but he's throwing a few out there.
Absolutely. Buffering just gets worse and worse, y'all. It's frustrating because this has been the only stream, like, all cycle where this has been an issue for me.
Well, it wouldn't be a Dan Super Bowl stream without a little buffering, that's for sure.
Nah, certainly. Is it buffering at all for you, or is it on my end?
A little bit. Not too bad, though.
Yeah. Well, It's okay. We see now that Justin Herbert and company have the ball at the opposing 45. Might see a run, honestly, to try to just keep in field goal range. Instead, we're going to see him drop back as the flats open, goes to the flats, is Davis able to catch it and get out of bounds. Gain of 10 second and inches.
This is so close if he has time for a shot here. I mean, this is so close. You really want that touchdown. I know you do, but is it worth it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is I mean, yeah, do they even have time to get in the end zone like in 6 seconds,
Right,
much less
right,
actually
exactly.
be able to convert
Just
something here?
maybe. I don't know.
Potentially, as we are going to see the field goal go up and go. I don't listen. we we're missing a lot here in the stream, and I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I guess there was an incompletion or something, or maybe just a run, but regardless,
Yeah.
it is a 16-7 ball game here, and Dan's still in it. Dan's still very much in it, but that half was generally dominated by Warren. What are your quick thoughts on this game as we head into the second half?
Yeah, I like what Warren's doing on offense. He's just taking what he's been given so far from the Buccaneers. 16 points in the first half is certainly a strong start. For Dan, I think he's feeling good right now. Honestly, despite that first half, that last drive was really nice. Really nice. If he can mix in the run, I just worry about him continuing to drop back and making a mistake, eventually throwing a pick. If he throws a couple, man, Warren, you just can't do that against a guy like this. So he's got to continue to keep him honest.
All right, we're gonna try to watch it like this, ladies and gentlemen, for a little bit to see if it kind of stops the buffering, because the buffering is like borderline ruining the stream at this point. So we're gonna kind of exit out of it and watch it in this mode here. But we saw a really nice RPO. All right, apparently it doesn't matter, so I'll just go back into. That's cool. But we did see the RPO there go for about a gain of 15. Really, really nice initial play call here by Tampa Bay. We're going to see him use a play that he's used before, a little motion concept here. See Will of A coming wide open, hits A. This is, again, Cook, a dominant force in these playoffs, but he does get decleated there. Got to watch those hit sticks.
Yeah, you do. But continuing to find plays for Markel Cook and McCullers, that's been the go-to.
Cook apparently able to get a nice gain. Once again, we didn't see it, and I don't know. This highlight video is gonna be interesting. Whoever does it's gonna need to go into Dan's stream a lot, but regardless, Morgan Rowe and company knocking on the doorstep. RPO as Cook has room down the sideline. Cook, will he be able to hit the edge? Not quite. Sheds a man off him. Oh my goodness, Cook, who has only gotten 3 touches, 3 rushes this entire game, but there, he's telling his coach, give me the ball and let me cook.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of been the Buccaneers all year long. He absolutely eats when he runs, but he doesn't run very often, and I think that kind of helps that.
Absolutely, as we're going to have an RPO. Cook with not a lot of room. Let me shut up. Touchdown.
Man, the Bucs O-line just fucking ate everybody on that play. That was huge blocking from the O-line. I'm not sure. Cook probably has that inside the 5 ability to make his blockers better, but I mean, there is nobody getting sheds of any kind there.
Yeah, not whatsoever. I mean, that was it looked like there was a lot of congestion in that area. Still able to run through the lane. Wosey saying live odds of Connor throwing his router out the window minus 10,000. Yeah, hammer that to the bettors in this league, because I'm hot right now. But it's okay. I mean, we got LA now only up by 2. They got to be feeling some type of way that they haven't put this game away by now. But no panic, obviously, in Warren. He's been in these situations before. We'll see if he's able to get something going, as we will have another power run. Eckler reading the lanes really nicely. Eckler with room, breaks 1 tackle and gets already to midfield.
Yeah, and you talked about it, but there's no doubt if you're Warren, after you control the whole game, now all of a sudden it's a 2-point game. Like, it's a Super Bowl. That lurks into the back of your head. There's no avoiding that. So for him to come out in that first play, get that big run, that's huge for his continued confidence in this game.
I kind of restabilize things here as Eckler once again with a big gain. That is Dean taking him down. Dean probably leading the team in tackles right now, as Boz saying Dan not the guy you want to leave hanging around in games like this. Excuse me. That's facts.
Yep,
That's facts. I mean,
absolutely.
these
No
are two of
kidding.
the biggest mental warriors in the league. You know that we're not going to see any type of chokes here. It's going to be Dan's best against Warren's best, and whoever is able to get it going wins. We'll have play action. A few crossers open is not open. Excuse me. Justin Herbert forced takeoff. Does he have the speed? No. Sweat brings him down for the first Bucs sack of the game.
Yeah, and maybe could have had him at the very end breaking on the right sideline there, but probably the smart place to take back, which one always seems to just have the instincts to make the wiser decision of the two.
Absolutely, yeah. You'll take the 3-yard loss there to prevent disaster, as he will end up coming to the open Eckler's. Again, my stream buffers. I don't know. Eckler might be breaking ankles right now. We'll never know, ladies and gentlemen. But 3rd and 6. All right, gain of 7.
I appreciate you fighting a good fight over there, man, against this
I'm trying.
string. It's tough.
This is just the wrong time to have this happen, but it is what it is. We have a run on 3rd and 6. Eckler able to make a couple men miss. Almost makes Winfield miss, but instead Winfield picks him up and throws him down. You do not associate Warren with a 3rd and 6 run call, but saw the dollar formation and victimized it.
No, you don't. But my God, that looked like Corey Crockett in his prime. My goodness, he was just all over with the sticks. He's just running the ball right now, right down the field. Yeah. I mean, and weak boxes again here.
This is the risk of these light boxes. It's going to be Spiller, the backup running back there, Isaiah Spiller, I believe, with a gain of 10 on his own. And yeah, I mean, Dan's, for good reason, very concerned about the passing game, trying to flood the field with DBs, but you run this risk, like you said.
Yeah, just got to commit more to the inside, I think.
Just a little bit more, yeah, as we will have 2nd and inches. Warren a few times coming in under centers. We have another kind of 94. Mike, as Eckler has room, falls forward to the 4-yard line, and this is going to be a decisive stretch in this game here to see if Tampa Bay can keep this a one-possession game or not.
Yeah, here we go. Bend but don't break. That's what you're thinking.
Inside zone, Eckler with room. Touchdown Chargers as we buffer again.
Gosh, I mean, that was just looked like some kind of like vintage 1970s, just run the ball down your fucking throat. Sorry, CMS, for 6 right there for the touchdown. Jeez, that's a big one here. Moving forward now, Dan's going to be thinking about that defensively. This huge drive, you really got to keep up. I don't really think you can settle for a field goal unless you get into like 4th 10+ situation. He's got to put 6 on the board here.
I agreed. Yeah, not in this type of game. As Morgan Rowe once again drop back, will have A open, ends up hitting A. This is Darnell Washington once again, who has gotten more action in this game than I've seen in like any of his 3 previous combined. But as the stream buffers, he was able to get about a gain of 20. I mean, this is so aggravating.
There we go, Washington. Dan Good Dog up the sideline again. Another gets out of bounds.
Yep. About a gain of 15. We saw the beginning and we saw the end of that play. We did not see the middle, but for now, Tampa Bay starting to drive. Mike, I agree. I mean, if I could do something about it, I would. Fuck, dude. I mean, obviously we're gonna keep broadcasting this, but this is, I don't know. We'll see what he does here as we do have an RPO as hands it off to Cook. Bosa with the tackle, still able to get again a 4.
Like seeing the run game come in a little bit more here in the second half from the Bucs. Chargers don't seem prepared for it on any particular drive.
He's had a far more balanced approach, really, since the start of the second quarter. I think he's done a far better job of like spreading it across all his weapons. Morgan Rowe for the first time is going to step up and take off, and there, once again, is that pocket presence we were talking about. Had a lane up the middle, stepped up and hit it for the first.
Yeah, that's really what makes it kind of so exciting when he does that, is that he just steps up, and if it's wide open, he can take it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Morgan Roy was not like a super fast quarterback, but he's fast enough, man. As he has B open and hits B up to see Bishop, breaks a tackle and scores.
Enormous drive. Kind of. I mean, maybe would have considered going for two there.
I was about to say,
I don't
I
know,
would have
to
gone for
try.
two. Yeah, I would have gone for two.
Uh, maybe. I'm a little bit surprised with Dan. He's been aggressive in the past, but I mean, at some point you got to play defense. If you're just going to give up touchdowns, can't catch them. So at some point you're going to have to play defense. And I think he believes in this defense. They really have. The Buccaneers have played good defense over the last 7 or 8 weeks or so.
A vicious hit stick tackle there to prevent what could have been a big special teams play. And now, again, we are seeing a very, I was a little worried about it, Ben. You said, calm down, baby. It's going to be a competitive Super Bowl. And we have exactly that. 23-21, LA with the ball. This is what better league Super Bowls are made of right here. This is beautiful stuff, and you cannot let Eckler run all over you, so he will not. Instead, he drops back, takes a crosser to Quentin Johnson, the leading receiver on this team, is Zion Johnson, the offensive guard, I believe, is going to go down.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, he wants to throw the ball. He's running it because he gets the weak boxes, but he wants to throw.
Absolutely. 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Boswell giving some analytics. Dan is 1 for 6 on 2-point conversions as we have a zig to McDonald. McDonald is going to take it near midfield. And ladies and gentlemen, we're doing it big for the Super Bowl. Put your foot in the chat!
Put him up.
No lag there, damn it. 23-21, LA fighting for their lives. Tampa Bay's defense fighting for their lives. This is what it's all about as he will drop back. Has a few guys open. Crosser wide open. Hits McDonald for another big gain. It is chunk play after chunk play. We see the efficiency right there. Herbert 17 for 19 and LA continuing to put drives up.
Look at the AI Brock Bowers just balling out here in the Super Bowl. UGA product. McDonald there. I don't remember his first name, damn it. But yeah, huge game. He had that huge touchdown against the Bills. And then balling out here again.
As Herbert once again drops back. 5-man rush does not get through. He's going to go to a curl route here. Keenan Allen, Darby tried to knock it out, unable to. Warren's locked in, and it's going to be that red zone roulette I was talking about. Can Dan get a stop when the field compresses? It's really going to decide the game here, in my opinion.
Absolutely, 100%. It's been a lot of easy moving down the field for Warren so far between the 20s.
Really nice lane recognition as well by Warren when he does run. Eckler able to make the most of every run he's had. And now it is, again, 1st and 10. Here is where the field compresses on you just a little bit. Can't make your coverage too obvious, like I've said. I might consider, I was about to say I would consider pass committing. It would have worked there as we have a very interesting read. Instead, he's going to dump it down to Eckler. Eckler has a little bit of room, falls forward for a gain of 2.
I like the play call on first down, but, there's a lot of pressure. I don't know. I think maybe you run the ball here, been really successful with it.
Absolutely. Eckler does have that, I believe, first one free activated as well, so we'll see what he's able to do is, trying to be as unpredictable as possible with his play calling here as we will drop back and, that was, I think we just saw Warren make the one bad read of the game. I think Dan would have liked for that to be a clean throw because he was about to throw it right to Curse, I think.
Yeah, it looked like it. Dan was all over it. That kind of looked like a little bit of a panic throw here. Now, huge play coming up.
Massive play coming up. Like I said, it could be game deciding. We have a run here on 3rd and goal. Eckler only able to get to the 4. I think we're going to see Warren hang his nuts low, and we will, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the play of the game. 4th and goal. A Super Bowl potential deciding sequence here, depending on what happens. Is Herbert with the X Factor activated, Eckler with the X Factor activated, as he takes a false start, and we're going to see the field goal unit come out. Very interesting there.
Yeah, I think that was a frustration. Hurry up. Didn't have the play or audible that he really, really wanted. Knew that he probably should take the field goal here and force that false start.
And again, this is a situation. It's like you let Warren get to the red zone and have him only come away with 3. That is I'm feeling so good if I'm Dan right now. That's a win on defense. I will take that as Dan, for the first time all game, I believe, well, first time since the first quarter, has the potential opportunity to take the lead here. He has the game in his control, and I'm praying to the Wi-Fi gods, the buffer gods right now, because we are setting ourselves up, Ben, for a potential all-time classic of an ending.
No doubt about it. Let's see. I mean, this for the rookie quarterback for Dan coming back from everything he's dealt with.
Is wide open. Here is Cook again, the phenom rookie who has just made an absolute name for himself in these playoffs with another chunk play, gain of 30.
I mean, just rookies all over the place, making enormous plays for the Buccaneers. It's honestly, I can't think of anybody else in the league that could pull off what the Buccaneers are potentially on the verge of trying to do. Still got a long way to go, but really, really impressive here second half.
Long way to go as Hero, despite not being able to actually watch the stream, he is in the chat, and that's the heart I appreciate. This is some comeback kid mentality to the greatest extent here, as we will again have a 4-man rush get bagged up. May have A coming open, doesn't see it, instead takes a shot to the angle route. Cook with a possession catch gets in the red zone. Dan's locked in, Morgan Rowe locked in, and he is knocking on the doorstep.
Both of these guys have gotten to the point where you cannot stop them between the 20s, and that favors the Buccaneers because right now their run game, you don't know when to be ready for it.
No, you don't. Yeah, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that indecisiveness potentially for the first time here from Warren on defense. It seems like he's maybe a step slow in terms of reacting to the run game. Obviously, his front seven's really good. His front seven will make plays for him, but we saw right there Cook with a really efficient game so far. We'll see if he's able to continue as you have really the whole playbook open to you right now. If you're Morgan Rowe, we'll see what he's able to do. Chat fired up. I mean, I'm fired up, damn it. This is incredible. Brief annex open. Insect! McCullers! Touchdown, Bucks!
Oh, my God. I mean, again, just he knows he's got the time in the pocket. Just waits for somebody to come open. McCullers there, and now he'll probably go for 2.
Has to go for 2, make this a 3-point game. Boz saying, dot, run of destiny. Everyone's fired up here in the chat. They got to make it, like you said, a 3-point game. Especially, the red zone defense has been really good. You got to force it to make it a potential tie game here if he's only able to put 3 on the board. But this is where he struggles a little bit. He will drop back. 4-man rush, good pocket. Morgan Rowe rolls out a little bit, takes a shot to Bishop. Bishop doesn't react. Maybe too high anyway, but that's going to keep it a 1-point game. And now LA with destiny here. Herbert about to get the ball back.
Man, that was probably closer than any of us are ever going to realize. It looked like he clicked on and tried to kind of cut up just enough where he wasn't going to get crushed by the safety or the corner coming from the other side. And if he had, he would have been able to possession catch it and make that, but just a little too shallow on that route.
Now's not the time to read off all the names because we got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, but there are 24 of you in this chat, and I most definitely appreciate you all, as Eckler's going to get it once again. Eckler cuts up, breaks a tackle. Eckler fighting for every yard he can get. I mean, that might be the MVP of this game, truthfully, if LA is able to pull this off, because he has been a workhorse.
The Bucks have not been able to stop Eckler running the ball the entire second half, really mostly for the game, but especially in the second half.
Gotten more and more effective as the game's gone on. Maybe some tired legs on this Bucks defense, and Austin Eckler having his way as we have trips to the left out of a single back formation, as he will once again hand this off as he screams at him, does Perryman, and for one of the few times the front seven able to get through the blitz, shuts down Eckler, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, curse at the commentator right there, right after saying how they haven't been able to stop him. Great play for the Bucks.
Yeah, good play call, good play there by the tacklers. We're gonna have again another run on 2nd and 13. Eckler not able to do a ton there. We're setting up for a 3rd and 9. Obviously, 4-down territory the rest of the way here. But again, I mean, Warren, this has been easily the most run heavy I've seen him, and to his credit, it's been working. But now we've got 3rd and long.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of stubbornness with that playing call after getting a run that failed and knowing how well it's been working, wanted to convince yourself that it will continue to, and obviously did not.
Absolutely. And now Tampa Bay got to pin their ears back, got to go full throttle here on defense. Gotta disguise your coverage however you can, as he will. Drop back, takes a shot up to Austin Eckler, who keeps cooking in every way here, but that was a wide open read off an unpredictable play call. LA in field goal range here.
Dan tried to make it audible defensively to kind of, like you said, get him off balance, but in the end, that hurt him with that wide open zone there.
Yeah, just a little indecisive. Maybe just didn't see that coming, as we're going to see now. 1st and 10. Might see some pretty aggressive play calls here because LA already in field goal range. You got to prevent them from getting another first down. Because you know Warren will be just fine with a nice kick, because we're going to have a shot up the middle, and will Johnson fall down? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He foregoes the touchdown, instead trying to win this off a nice field goal, trying to waste some time.
This is insane. Both of them were playing for the Chargers to score there that time, and the Chargers were playing not to score. The Bucs wanted them to score, and the Chargers didn't want to score.
Yeah, that was a smart play by Warren there, in my opinion. That was very, very smart with what this is looking like. And, we're going to see him let all the time run down before he hikes it. Unsurprisingly, it's a run call. Eckler with about a gain of 1, and now here is the first time out for Tampa Bay.
I mean, just both of these guys just so locked into the situation, everything. It's just, I mean, what a deserving pair here to end the season.
Absolutely. I mean, you could not ask for a more competitive Super Bowl. It's been a lot of fun. We've seen offense and defense both step up in different ways in this one, and it's been really, really exciting to commentate this with you. I've had a lot of fun as we have now 2nd and 10. Another run commit as Herbert drops back and will now score the touchdown Chargers.
I tell you what, Dan was kind of just lurking over there. He almost stole a pick out of a run commit at the end of the Super Bowl. That would have been unbelievable.
Absolutely. Is still 2 timeouts, still 30 seconds. He can try to make some magic happen here, but this is a bad situation, obviously, for Tampa Bay, and the decision to fall down is looking even better because that wasted about 40 seconds and a timeout for Tampa Bay. But now LA trying to take a 7-point lead here with this 2-point conversion. He will drop back, has an easy out route to Quentin Johnson, and now 7-point game. Dan, the comeback kid, gonna have to lock in.
Okay, Morgan Rowe, you got 31 seconds, 2 timeouts. Need a touchdown. Will he go for 2? I think maybe too early to ask that question, but I think he would too. I mean, Dan, what does Morgan Rowe have in his bag here?
I mean, this is DBC we're talking about, Ben. This is DBC we're talking about. I think, and especially with kind of the way this game's gone in general, I think if I told him one play to win the Super Bowl, but obviously that's not the situation we're in right now. 34-27, 2 timeouts, about 30 seconds remaining in this game. We'll see if he's got a couple of deep dots in him. Does Morgan Rowe. Might just take a shot if he has single coverage anywhere, as he will drop back. Ends up checking it down to Cook as he catches it, and you probably actually don't want that if you're Tampa Bay, forced to burn their 2nd time out.
Yeah, maybe had a deeper look. He definitely had time in the pocket. That was not a bad read, but against the clock, that really kind of hurts more than helps.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, only 8 yards. You waste some time like that, and you waste time out. Yeah, that's not an ideal start to this drive, but still with a chance here. We'll see what Morgan Rowe and company are able to do. It's got to be Cook or McCullers, man. I mean, those have been the 2 guys that have been absolutely dominating this game here. So we have a 4-man rush get bagged up, and once again, it is a dump off to Cook. Cook runs backwards and gets tackled, and now the win probability calculator is plummeting here for Tampa Bay, as they are now out of timeouts and pretty much forced to just take shots at this point.
The instincts, just both of them immediately know he's got to get to the sideline, take the angle of your Warren. He does. He gets the tackle. This is tough because I don't think he can throw it this far. You got to at least get another 10, 15 yards to have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of throw power we're looking at. He's going to realistically, I think, need to take a couple sideline shots before we start talking Hail Mary, but we will see. We will see what he's able to do here. Is, again, Morgan Rowe with a litany of audibles here, as he will drop back 3-man rush as he goes for a wheel and overshoots Cook on what honestly looked like a pretty good read to me.
Yeah, it did. He almost had him, and he probably would have gotten out of bounds too. That was really close to what could have been a huge, huge play. Still, I mean, you got to look sidelines at this point.
I think so, yeah. Unless you get just miraculous single coverage somewhere, but yeah, realistically, got to take a shot at the sidelines here, which I think is what we're seeing him set up to do. Morgan Rowe again. Excuse me, with a lot of audibles here. Trying to set anything he can up as he will once again drop back as the users both say he takes an out route but catches it in bounds, and I don't think he's going to have time for this spike. That is it. Warren is your Super Bowl 47 champion.
Man, that was so close. He had a chance maybe to get out, but oh gosh, congratulations to Warren. What a great game. What an amazing game between these two guys. Warren, deserving champion. What is this, ring number 4? 3 or 4?
I think so. Ring number 3 or 4. I think it might be 4, yeah.
Oh man. Gosh, what a game between these two guys.
Yeah, unbelievable game. I mean, there was I almost compare it to the Dan Hero game where like there was a time at one point where it looked like Warren was going to run away with it. Dan doing his absolute best on both sides of the ball to stay in it, give himself that chance. But then at the end of the day, even after Dan took that first lead in the fourth quarter, Warren just too efficient, too good on offense, just doing whatever he wanted between the 20s, like he said, able to punch it in, and then just didn't. Morgan Rowe, the kid just didn't have enough time there at the end. A couple unfortunate tackles in bounds, not able to get it done, and we had ourselves a top-tier Super Bowl there. That was incredible. I'm going to let these highlights roll here, and then I'll eventually go to the Discord for interviews. But, Ben, I mean, I think, I struggle to say all-time classic. I don't know if it quite reached that, but that was a very, very fun game we just watched.
Well, I tell you what, I don't know if it was quite as good as the last Super Bowl we had in BL between these two specific teams, but man, that one is right up there. What a crazy comeback by Tampa, and just stick your nuts on the line mentality for the Chargers, as Warren's had all throughout the playoffs. Just unbelievable. I mean, it probably is an all-time classic, like you said.
We have both users in here. As always, we will start with the champion, Super Bowl 47 champion, Warren's Los Angeles Chargers. Congrats, Warren. The floor is yours.
Thanks. Good game to Dan. I never thought I'd play a game where I run 26 times. So I had like hats off to him and like what he does. It was a weird game. Like, I can't believe it's over because it felt like it was like 12 IRL minutes. And I did not get to play how I wanted to play whatsoever. And it was like, I had to play like uber conservative and just, because I know like Dan on defense is like just a demon, and he forces you to do things you don't want to. So like looking at the stat line, like 22 for 25, 300 yards, touchdown for Herbert, and then whatever, Eckler with 25 for 150, 4 and 2. And it's not how I expected to go whatsoever. But Dan played great, dude. Like, I had to play pretty much perfect, and I did. And like, it came down to what, like, literally, like, who had the ball last. So that was an incredible effort by him, in a good game.
Yeah, really good game by both you guys. I mean, you pretty much touched on what I was gonna ask, but you no, it's fine. I mean, you went, I think surprisingly for a lot of people who have watched you a lot, you went run heavy. You saw a lot of weak boxes, a lot of diamond dollar sets that Dan was coming out in, and you pounded the rock with Eckler. And I'm just curious, like, was that, a reaction to the types of defense and the types of looks that Dan was giving you, or did you, coming into the game, did you think that Dan's run defense was, especially gettable?
No, I actually planned. I took a shower before the game, and I was like, I'm gonna bomb him on the first play. Like, I don't care. And then I come out, and it's like base of line, and like all his guys all over the place, and I'm just like, oh no, it's gonna be one of these. And that's how he plays. Dan rushes 3 or 4 and just makes you make a good read every time. So that's why I said everything was like extremely simple on my end, and like I didn't try to do too much, and I just took what he gave me on that, and it just luckily no fumbles. It was just one of those things where I'm just like, I don't want it to be decided by that. So the Madden kind of stayed out of this game, for the most part.
Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, Warren, I mean, you played so incredible throughout these entire playoffs. I want to ask you about a couple things, but first I want to ask you about your defense in the second half. It kind of felt like Dan was starting to get a few things going. But you made some plays when you had to. I want to ask if what took getting that done defensively against his pass when he started heating up with Rowe there at the end.
So it felt like, and I'm sure Dan can attest to this, like my first couple defensive possessions, like my D line was eating, and then the second half it was kind of like we both could do whatever we want, that type of deal where everyone was just getting open, and I knew it was going to come down to who's going to score last. You know, when he hit that deep dig in the end zone, like that was literally the only dude I didn't cover on that play, and there's no reason for him to be running that route. So I was super annoyed because like I had the perfect defense like 3 or 4 times, and like the one guy who was open, Dan made a great read on. But yeah, like overall, it just the last drive was such like a mental pretzel because like I was like, do I score? Do I not score? Is he going to run commit? I had Omaha active, so I knew what defense he was in. So it was like this whole thing. Like I'm trying to like and then I'm just running the line and snapping, trying to get everything together in my brain. And that touchdown to Keenan Allen, I highballed the ball for like the first time in my life, and he still almost picked that. Like that play right there was the game because he ran commit and still almost made the play. So like that was just wild.
Warren, we'll get your final thoughts on this game and this season in a little bit, but for now we turn our focus to Dan. Dan, hell of a season, hell of an effort in a Super Bowl against a great user. What are your just quick thoughts on the game before we get to questions?
Yeah. Can I just address something? First of all, before we do anything, I rushed 9 times. I don't know if the chart will help me, but if Rowe has to sit week 1 next season, so be it. But that happened. But I just want to say thank you to everyone in BL. I mean, it was win or lose this game. It didn't really matter to me because it just mattered that I was here. And like, I don't want to get too emotional, but like, everyone has shit going on. But you guys had to find out things about my life, right? And you guys all had to help out. You guys all helped out because if it wasn't for you guys and your donations and just support, I would not have been here this cycle. And if you said on September 10th that I'd be playing in Super Bowl 47, I'd laugh in your face. So thank you so much. Thank you for, keeping an amount of normalcy in my life. It was so important for me mentally to just get back to normal. And, BL, like anything, like a sport or anything, it's just like, it's always there. It's going to be consistent. It's going to be there no matter what happens to you. So just thank you guys so much. Strong community. And I just just glad to be here. Glad to be here and to compete. And win or lose, it didn't matter as long as I competed. And so thanks. But back to the game, back to football. I have the unfortunate distinction now of having 5 Super Bowl losses, which is the most in the league history. So if Ben, you want to do me a solid next year or something like that, but or little Alex, but I'm just joking. But I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Warren played a great game. It was pretty sweaty. I tried to do things that made him a little uncomfortable. I kind of succeeded in some ways. Warren's so efficient, like 88% completion. You just knew he was going to control the game. And I really thought that after the first couple drives, I thought this was going to be like a 21-0 kind of game. The one regret I have decision-making is not taking my points on 4th and 1 because I ran a stupid RPO. I think it got blown up and then Markel Cook just gets an inch short. I should have taken my points because if I took my points there, I'm probably in a better position to win in the second half. But glad I stormed back. And as Warren said, it was a sweaty game. I tried to give him some looks because I know he's a nerd. I know he nerds out and looks at film and stuff. So I tried to do like things that were a little complementary to what I've been doing all playoffs. And I think that kind of helped a little bit. And it was a battle. And I think, the better user won tonight. He's got a great team. And I'm just ready to compete and be back next year.
Well, we love you, man. And I think that's one thing I love about this community of people, right? Is like, sometimes we talk shit, sometimes we get little arguments, this, that, and third. But when it comes down to it, we're all here for each other, right? I mean, we are just invested in each other in that way. And it's beautiful to see. And we're really, really happy to see you, back on your feet and back competing the way we know you can. And to get to the game, I think the term that Ben and I used for your defensive approach, at least the way it seemed like to me, was red zone roulette, where you seemed content to kind of allow Warren to drive into the red zone, like kind of content to like give up the dink and dunks, give up the 8, 9, 10 yard runs, but once the field compressed on him, you really kind of like turned up the heat, turned up your defensive play calling, and you forced him to multiple field goals. I'm just curious, like, was that your intent going in against such an efficient user as Warren, or is that just kind of the way it played out for you on defense?
Yeah, it's kind of the Bill Belichick Super Bowl 25 in real life game plan against the Bills. Just let him stay in weak formations, like very light formations on defense. And if he's going to beat you on the run, he'll beat you on the run. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the personnel to be able to hold up when I get into light formations and he runs the ball. Once he kind of figured that out, it was kind of ball game, I felt. But yeah, just like that, bend don't break. I've always been bend don't break, but definitely tonight, just able to clamp up in the red zone. Definitely made some big stops, as you said, and kept the deficit manageable. And then I was able to kind of come back in the second half, but wasn't enough.
For sure, man. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, Dan, first of all, I want to say also we love you, man. We're so proud of you for putting this season together and getting everything straightened out in your life that you had to. And obviously, I think I speak for all of us when we say we're happy. So happy to have you back and have you here competing in Super Bowls. Anyway, it was a great game, obviously. Ro, hey, I want to ask you about that first half because it just seemed like you're just a touch off. Your pocket presence was phenomenal, really, for the most part, all game, but you didn't really run the ball too much at all, really, for the whole game, but especially in the first half. And I just wonder if, how much that took an effect on Warren's defense against you.
Yeah, I think the first play of the game was very telling. I got a free rusher, and I just took a 8-yard sack, insta sack, and that shook me. That affected me for the rest of the game. I was like, I was able to get by Alex's D-line, look at the Heroes D-line, and I knew this was going to be another tough defensive front, and I felt like he was getting a lot of sheds, and I was able to make some reads, but it was tough, and I probably abandoned the run too early in the first half. Obviously, it kind of clicked on my drive in the second half, but obviously, I only ran 9 times. That's a better league violation.
Honestly, like if you were shook the whole game, I couldn't tell. Especially the second half. I thought you played very well. So thank you for that. We turn our attention one more time back to the now champion of the Better League, Warren, Super Bowl 47 champ. Just final thoughts, Warren, on this game, this season. Like I said, whatever you want to talk about, man. You can end this season for us with whatever you want to say.
Sure. When I played Lucky last year, it was tough because everyone wanted him to win. And playing Dan this year was like the next level. Like I knew like everybody, literally except for like 2 people who DM me, but I won't expose them. But like it's like 95% like we want Dan to win, and like that was on my mind because I'm like, man, like I'm such an a-hole. Like, and hearing Dan talk and all that, it makes me feel like, you know what I mean? Like it was rough. But that was a real thought going into the game, was just like Dan has the support of everyone, and it's, like I said, it was almost the same with Lucky last year, but not to the extent of this. But yeah, I think it was a good cap to the season. I really wanted to get a ring early because I didn't want to be one of those like, this guy was good in Madden 19, or remember this guy's running in Madden 20. Like I want to be that like every Madden, like it's just a problem. And that was like, if you don't get the ring, then like you have nothing really to show for it. I didn't want to be grouped in with anybody else in the league, my own tier, and that's kind of like what I played for, right? So beating Dan, I don't want to say I didn't give him enough credit, but if I had to like pick, if I had to list like 10 players I'd want to play, he'd probably be somewhere like 9 or 10 in terms of like that would give me a challenge, and he proved me completely wrong today. I thought I was just going to come in and just blow the doors off him, like respectfully, but I didn't. And him fighting back, when he threw that deep dig, like I mentioned before, I was like, oh no, like that was my moment of like, oh no, so I had to talk to myself and be like, all right, just lock in, come on, get it, whatever. But he proved so much to me today, and watching him in the playoffs, and there's all the talk about like being clutch and this and that, but like his games were close. Like I watched these playoff games back to see what was going on, and like his games were close, and he won those regardless of how it happened. A win is a win. So like that's so cool to see, like that type of run out of him. So like honestly, all the respect in the world to Dan and to the league for giving us a platform to play a game on a Monday night and have people watching.
Absolutely, man, and yeah, big shout out to the two of you. That was an incredible game, and thank you, Ben, as well. I mean, I want to give you a special shout out because this is a pretty challenging stream. I mean, you'll both, Dan and Warren, see it back when you watch back. There was really bad lag on my end, like all throughout the first half. Like I missed like entire plays in a row. There's like buffering mid play. It was really tough, and Ben was a true professional, kept me updated on everything, did some like radio play by play for me for a little bit. So I really appreciate that, and I appreciate every one of you who. We're in the chat, making it, I think, the most active chat of the cycle. At one point, we topped out at like 26, 27 viewers. So I appreciate you all for that. And thank you all so much for making Better League what it is. Like, like we've all said at different points, it's the community. It's the love we all have for each other. And congrats to Warren, man. Much love to you.